There's a certain amount of money where the people closest to you start treating you a little differently. Not strangers, not coworkers, your own family. And the strange part is you don't even see it coming. You think having more money will make life easier for everyone around you. You think it will bring you closer. And then one day you cross some line you didn't even know was there, and the people who knew you before any of it start to change. Slowly at first, then all at once. So today I want to talk about something nobody really likes to admit. The exact point where money starts pulling a family apart. And by the end, I'll tell you what that number actually is because it's not what most people think. Let's start with something simple. Most families are close for one quiet reason. Everyone is kind of in the same situation. Same money problems. Same stress about bills. Same complaints about how expensive everything is. Nobody really has more than anyone else, so nobody feels left behind. And that sameness, that feeling of we're all in this together, is a big part of what keeps people close. You never really notice it's there. You only notice it when it starts to go away. And it usually starts small. You start doing a little better than everyone else. Maybe you get a raise, maybe a new job, maybe a side thing finally works out. And one day you're at dinner with the family and you reach for the bill and paying it doesn't hurt anymore. It's no big deal to you. But people notice. Somebody makes a little joke. Oh, look at you, big shot. Everybody laughs. You laugh too. But something just shifted in that moment, and you can feel it even if you can't explain it. Because now you're not just one of them anymore. Now you're the one who's doing well. And it sounds like a compliment, right? It's not really, it's a line. And you just ended up on the other side of it. And once you're on that side, the asking starts. You stop being just a brother or a cousin or a son. You become the person people come to when they need money. There's the relative with a business idea who just needs a little help to get started. There's the cousin going through a rough patch who needs to borrow some money until things get better. There's the parent who would never ask directly, but somehow keeps mentioning how tight things have been lately. And slowly you turn into the person everyone quietly expects something from. And here's the part nobody warns you about. There is no right answer. Say yes, and something changes between you. Now they owe you, and you both feel it. It sits there at every dinner, every holiday in the back of both your minds. Say no, and you become something worse than a stranger. You become the one who had the money and wouldn't help his own family. And there is no version of saying no that doesn't feel like you let them down. Think about that for a second. The kindest thing you ever did for them, without even knowing it, was being just as broke as they were. And the moment that stopped, every choice you make started getting judged. But here's the thing that really does the damage. It was never really about the money, it was about the difference. You didn't get rich, you just got a little better off than the people around you. And that small gap, that little bit of distance between your life and theirs, that's the thing that hurts them. Not the money itself. The comparison. Think about it. A stranger can have 10 times more than you and you don't feel a thing. But your own brother getting a nicer car, your sister going on a trip you can't afford, that's different. That one stings. Because they were supposed to be on the same level as you. And now every time they look at you, they see the life they didn't get. So they start telling themselves a story. They say, you changed. You've probably heard that one before. You've changed. But you didn't change. Your bank account changed. You're the same person who sat at that same table eating the same cheap food a few years ago. But to them, that little bit of distance feels like a decision. You think you're better than them now. You left. You forgot where you came from, even though you never went anywhere. So you start doing something kind of sad. You start hiding it. You don't mention the trip. You play down the raise. You park the new car a little further down the street so nobody sees it. You make yourself smaller at dinner so nobody feels bad. You start leaving little things out just to keep the peace. And the strangest part is, you're now managing other people's feelings about a life you're not even allowed to enjoy in front of them. And it even ruins the good stuff. Try giving someone a gift now. Watch what happens. Give something small and you're cheap, you have money, and that's all you got them. Give something big and now you're showing off or making them feel like a charity case. There's no amount that feels right anymore. Whatever you give gets compared to what you could have given, and you always come up short against a number that only exists in their head. And then there's this other thing, quieter than all of it. Once you're the one with money, you stop being sure about people. When someone calls you now, you can't always tell if they want you or if they want what you can do for them. The warmth might be real, or it might not be. And the fact that you even have to wonder about that, with people you love, that's its own kind of sad. You'd give it all back just to feel sure again. And here's something people get wrong about all this. When family cuts you off over money, it's almost never some big dramatic fight. It's way quieter than that. It's the invitation that just stops coming. It's the group chat that goes a little quiet when you say something. It's hearing about the family dinner after it already happened. It's getting told things last and then not at all. Nobody announces it. Nobody sits you down. You just slowly turn into a guest in a family you were born into. And then one day something big happens and you find out you were the last to know. That's how it really works. Not with a slammed door. Just a slow, quiet fade until you're the one on the outside. And then there's the worst version of all of it. The version where the money isn't even yours yet. A parent gets sick. A parent passes away, and suddenly there's a number sitting on the table. A house, a bank account, everything one person worked their whole life for turned into something that has to be split up. And you watch it happen. You watch a brother and a sister who grew up in the same house, who were crying together at the funeral just days ago, turn into two people who won't give an inch. And nothing splits a family apart faster than this. And here's the thing, it's almost never really about the money. It's about what the money means. Who got loved more? Who feels owed? Who gave up the most and got the least? The money just brings all of that to the surface. So, the number, the exact amount that makes a family fall apart, you've been waiting for it, so here's the real answer. There isn't one. There's no magic figure, no amount that's the same for everyone. It's different for every single family. Because it was never about the size of the money, the number is just the point where the gap between you and the people you love gets too big to ignore. It's the moment your money could fix their problem, and you both know it. For one family, that point is winning the lottery. For another family, it's a slightly nicer car in the driveway. The amount that breaks a family is just whatever amount makes the difference impossible to pretend isn't there. It's not in your bank account, it never was. It's the distance the money puts between you and the people who used to be right next to you. Because money doesn't really change you, it changes the way people see you. You stop being a brother or a cousin or a kid, and you start being a reminder of what they didn't get. And people don't really cut off family over money. They cut off the reminder. The number is just whatever amount finally makes you too hard to look at, because looking at you means looking at everything they don't have. There are people who would stay exactly the same with you no matter how much money you had. People who would still treat you the way they always did. They're real, but they are rarer than you'd hope. And the hard part is, you don't get to find out who they are until after you've crossed that line. Until you've already seen who stayed and who quietly started keeping score. Money doesn't buy you a close family. It just shows you how close your family really was the whole time. So let me ask you something and be honest. Have you ever watched money change someone in your own family? Have you ever felt it change the way they treated you? If you have, then you already know none of this is in your head. Hit like on this video because someone out there needs to know they weren't imagining it. And tell me in the comments just one word. One word for what money did to your family. I'll read every single one. And subscribe because I'm going to keep talking about the things about money that nobody else really wants to say out loud. Because the saddest thing in any family was never running out of money. It's looking around one day and realizing you were closer before you had it.